What's up, guys? Simon here. Today I want to discuss something a friend of mine asked on the channel actually to make a video on. And this is something that is easier said than done in terms of a topic. It's managing your work stress with your life at home balance. So work-life balance with stress involved. Now, again, this is a hard topic, and here are some of my tips for anyone that's starting a business. That is working somewhere and having to come home and please your family or put on that smile in every situation, including the reverse situation. So you may be having problems at home, but you need to come into work giving it 110%. And how do you hide that stress, or how do you minimize it so that it doesn't affect one or the other? So before I get into this video, go ahead, hit that like button for me, subscribe to my channel, and let's get into this video. All right, so for me, it has always been difficult to not bring my work stress to my house. My wife, who has a lot of energy, is always excited and energetic. So if I had a problem at work and I'm coming into the house, it was really difficult to downplay that problem because that individual is expecting 100% out of you. And the same way it works if you're having, say, home problems, marital problems, girlfriend problems, your kids aren't listening to you, whatever it may be, and you still have to bring 100% to your work environment. Your boss doesn't give a crap if you and your significant other argued or you slammed the door, whatever it may be. You got to come into work and give them 110% or 100% to make sure the things that are getting done are done on time and so forth. So how do you manage that stress? How do you make sure that you're coming into either your job or into your house confident and ready to go at all times to pay attention to what is needed at that moment in that situation? So here are some tips that I do. First, I'll discuss going into the work environment and managing basically the stress from home. And let's be honest, everybody has stress at home, whether it's bills, arguments, kids, raising your children. You may be going through divorces, you may be going through hard times. Who knows? You might have been caught cheating or whatever. Anything's possible, but then you got to come to work and you got to earn that paycheck. So although I haven't had really drastic issues, I would say that before I come into the work office and I pull into that parking lot, and believe me, not every day I want to be at work. And if someone's out there and tells you that every day they want to be working, or they're telling you that they love their job so much, there's not a day that they don't go, oh shit, I wish I laid in bed for 5 more minutes, or I'd rather be doing something else at this moment. They're lying to you. So some days when I don't want to come into work, but I still got to make sure I put in that effort, I wait in my parking lot, I sit in the car, I close my eyes, and the very first thing I do is some deep breaths and put on a smile. Because when you're smiling and you have your head up and you're taking deep breaths and you're gathering yourself and your thoughts together that you're going to have a productive workday, that helps a lot. So that's one thing. No matter what happens at home and you need to come to work and bring it, give yourself about 1 minute to 2 minutes, gather your thoughts, positive thoughts, close your eyes, raise your head, and make sure that you're knowing that you're going to put in the effort today to do a good job at work. Same thing at home. So if you had a tough work day, you lost a big account, your boss is writing you for not doing something or whatever it may be, you need to go ahead and come home, take a deep breath before you walk into that house, realize that now it's time for family time, or your wife or girlfriend or whatever, and what has happened at work stays at work. You'll deal with that the next work day. So you have to put on that smile, take that deep breath, maybe take a walk around your neighborhood. If you have a pet, walk the pet. But that's one way to manage some stress in your house and your work the very first thing you do. Remember, neither your boss or your wife or girlfriend gives a shit that you had a hard day. So they're all going to make sure that you're giving them full attention and you're putting in the full effort. Not many people are understanding, and most of the time people are not even aware of your situation, nor do they want to know about it. So they were going to go ahead and pressure you or question you and make sure that you're being attentive to their needs, not your needs. And sadly, that's 90% of the time.
You just talk too damn much. Gonna have to listen, sweetheart.
Now, when you walk into the door, and if you walk into your work, you got to learn to communicate effectively. So if a situation happened that's very drastic, you got to let that person know that, hey, this happened today. Could I have 5 minutes to myself, or so, whatever it may be. If you're having a lot of marital problems or domestic problems at home, you should let your boss know, hey, I've been having a hard time with my wife lately, and sorry if I haven't been as attentive. I promise to get better or get back on top of it. Same thing with your accounts or your customers. If there are clients that you have that are expecting you to do a certain amount of work, yet you're having some problems and there are delays, you got to let that client know that this is why there's a delay and this is what you're hoping to do within the next certain amount of time. So make sure you communicate effectively with your domestic partner as well as with your boss or someone at work. One thing I try to avoid as well when I get home is making sure that I'm not sharing my stress on my wife or my kids or anyone at home. So for example, if I have a tough day, the last thing I want to do is stress my wife out about my tough day, where she gets stressed out and then the stress comes right back around to me because now she's in a bad mood and upset, or my kids are in a bad mood and are upset, or anyone else at home. So if you have a girlfriend or a partner or someone you're rooming with, whatever it may be, try to minimize the amount of stress that's circulating in the house when you get home so that it doesn't come back to you, so that you're not dealing with it even further once you come home. Remember, your home is an escape from your work environment. So if you're working nonstop like a dog and you come home and you bring that stress home, it's just going to deflate you. It's going to take away your energy. So you got to make sure that you don't bring that stress onto the next person around you, and it's going to linger there until you go back to work stressed again. Vice versa, if you're stressed out at home and you come into work, believe me, your boss or even yourself has a million things to do. So the last thing you want to do is stress them out about your problems, or even get them to think that you may not be around for much longer because your domestic situation is in chaos and you may need to move or you may need to leave the company, whatever it may be. So keep that stuff to yourself as much as you can without stressing them out. So you can mention a certain thing here and there, but don't go overboard and act like you've lost your damn mind and that you cannot handle this situation. So keep it together. Make sure you continue having your job or servicing your clients. Oftentimes when I get stressed out at work or even at home, I go for a walk. Before a big argument explodes or before I say something wrong to a client or make a bad business decision, I simply go for a walk. At the current workplace that we have, because we're building out a new workplace that you could watch on my channel as well, at the current workplace, I walk in the back of the warehouse. I'll walk a little bit or say hi to some of my warehouse workers and then do a small chat with them, get back and clear my mindset. The same thing for you guys. If you're at home and you're coming home with stress, take a little breather, take a little walk, understand that you need a little break. And your break could be something like closing your eyes for a few minutes in a dark room, in a quiet room, changing up your environment. If you live in a small place, get out of your house, go for a drive. Driving, for whatever reason, is such a calming thing, especially if you're in the car by yourself with just some music or the radio, that would help you out as well. So get out of the house, clear your mind, come back, get out of your job environment, go get a Starbucks or a cup of coffee, come back, and that resets you, and it helps a lot. It actually resets the day and the time clock in a very weird way. That is a benefit to the rest of the day. Lastly, the biggest thing that you could probably do to manage your stress at work or at home is count your blessings. This is something that a lot of people forget or need to remind themselves about every time. Instagram, social media, all these channels, they put out a message that everybody has it great. Everything is happy, everybody's on vacation, everybody's taking that happy picture, and their family situation, their work situation is perfect. That is all a lie, guys. People on Instagram, they don't put up negative things where they got punched in the eye that night or something that happened, with domestic abuse or argument, or your kid's not listening to you, or your kid's just doing bad things or behaving badly. No one shares that type of information. They only share information that they feel in their mind is appealing to the viewer. It's kind of like advertising and marketing, the same thing that goes on with your work environment. No one wants to talk about how broke they are or anything like that, so they're going to pretend and say that they're doing well and start flexing when they don't have anything to flex with. So, you got to count your blessings no matter what the situation is. You got to remind yourself that when you come home, you have a nice family, or you happen to have a family, or you're going to get through this. You still have one family member that loves you, or you have family members that love you. Same thing at work. Even though you may not be doing well at work, you got to understand that the work environment is still better than no job at all. So even if you lost a big client, you lost a big account, whatever it may be, you still have an opportunity to continue and get another account. Count your blessings. Be thankful for the situation you're in. Be thankful that you are healthy, you have potential to make money, and always remind yourself that there is still a lot of opportunity out there. We know, or I personally know someone that only last year became a billionaire. They were grinding out and making a lot of money many years, but last year in 2019, they became a billionaire after taking their company public. That type of outlook is an outlook that I would say is a great outlook for the future. It's a positive outlook. It shows that any given year or anything can happen with your business or your family situation, and it will get better as long as you keep moving forward. So always have the positive outlook. Count your blessings. Don't always think the grass is greener on the other side because you're stuck on Instagram and seeing people all smiley and you know, giddy and all that fun stuff, because it's never like that. So make sure you count your blessings, be thankful for what you have, and be optimistic for the future. Anything can turn around in 1 year, 2 years, or 5 years. You could have a business that's not doing well, and 5 years from now, you could take it to a level that you never imagined, making yourself a lot of money. So as an entrepreneur that's starting out, always be hopeful and positive and control what you could control. Don't let yourself down or beat yourself down because competition is beating you or any of that. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, take time to yourself, count your blessings, make sure that you communicate properly with your family or your boss, and make sure you don't stress them out with your stresses, and you'll be successful in the end. So I hope you like this video. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. As always, I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys here in the next video.